Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Glad you could join us. And before we begin, you know the routine. Get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites. And our bookmaker guide is available for you to download, so hurry up and get to it. Make sure you check out our blogs, the Mr. Bookmaker football blog or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. And also check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. These guys are working hard. Show them some support. Now, to get things started with our A to Z sports betting lingo, what's our word for today? Today's word is flea. Now, what is a flea? Well, a flea is an annoying bettor who wants something for nothing, such as being comped for a small wager. So those of you listening, well, hopefully you're not a flea, but who am I to judge, right? All right, so with every conclusion of a football season, and of course I'm talking about over in England, you always have the teams getting relegated from the English Premiership, but then you also have the teams being promoted from the Championship, the league right underneath the Premier League. Now, when looking at the standings, Wolverhampton Wanderers have already clinched the league with flying colors, so they will be members of the English Premier League for the 2018-2019 season. But what about the teams right now that have a chance to get that second automatic qualifying spot? Because anyone who pays attention to football in England obviously knows that nobody wants to have to go through the playoffs. And when looking at the standings right now, currently in second place, Cardiff City has 89 points. Fulham right behind them with 88 points. And this coming weekend, which of course the games will take place on the 6th of May, this will be the last week of the season. So it really is crunch time here. Time to get nervous, especially if you're a Cardiff City fan, and I know what that's like. So taking a look at the odds. And the bookie I'm taking a look at here is William Hill. And the address is www.williamhill.com. Now the one I'm seeing over here first, with 150 to 1 odds, Aston Villa to beat Cardiff 3-0 in the Championship playoff final, in parentheses 90 minutes. Well, let me be quick to say that we're going to have to look at the schedule before we start talking about, these odds that are available. Right now, the odds are 1-20 for Cardiff, 5-4 for Fulham, 5-2 for Aston Villa, 11-4 for Middlesbrough, 4-1 for Derby, and 25-1 for Preston North End. Now, when referring back to the standings, Fulham is in 3rd position, Aston Villa is in 4th, Middlesbrough is in 5th, Derby County currently occupies that last spot and have a 2-point advantage over Preston North End. Now, one of the other special bets here available under the hashtag YourOdds, this one here is Barnsley not to be relegated. The odds here show even. Then you have Barnsley to finish 20th. The odds here show 20-1. Okay, well, let's take a look at the standings again. And of course, this will be directly related to one of the teams that is trying to get into the playoffs. And this, of course, builds even more excitement. So when looking at the odds and the matchups for this weekend, Derby County will be hosting Barnsley. The odds here are 7-10 for Derby, 13-5 for a draw, 17-5 for Barnsley. Now, Derby County have 72 points. Barnsley has 41 points. Barnsley right now is only above one of those relegation spots on goal difference ahead of Burton Albion. So this is going to make for a really exciting and nail-biting weekend. So, Derby at home against Barnsley. Derby's trying to get into the playoffs. Barnsley's just trying to stay in the championship. Now, what about Cardiff City? Cardiff will be hosting Reading. The odds here show 3-10 for Cardiff, 15-4 for a draw, 8-1 for Reading. And of course, the important match involving Fulham. Fulham will be on the road against Birmingham. The odds here show 7-2 for Birmingham, 11-4 for a draw, and 4-6 for Fulham. So in this case for Cardiff City against Fulham, Cardiff controls their own destiny. A victory means promotion to the English Premier League. Then anything less than a victory means that Cardiff will have to do some scoreboard watching to see if Fulham drop points. And of course, all of these games will be played simultaneously. So get to William Hill as soon as you can. That's www.williamhill.com. I hope you're ready for this coming weekend for the EFL Championship. Which team is going to get that automatic spot? And also, which team will be disappointed for missing out on the playoffs? And before we continue, get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We have tips on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Like I said before, check out our A to Z sports betting lingo so you can become an expert on this entire online betting process. All right, continuing on now, still at William Hill. For all you UEFA Champions League fans, we know the final has been set. The final match will take place on the 26th of May at the Olympic Stadium in Kiev, Ukraine. And the two teams, Real Madrid of La Liga against Liverpool of the English Premier League. Really excited for this one. I think it's going to be an exciting one. But let's just get to the odds right away. The payout here for Real Madrid shows 6-5, 13-5 for a draw, 21-10 for Liverpool. Now I have a habit, of course, of going for the underdog, and I will continue to do that. And when looking at this game, the one thing about the Champions League final is that it is not played over two legs. It is just one game, so we all know that anything can happen. And with Liverpool, can Mohamed Salah find a way to score against Real Madrid? Clearly, everyone will be favoring Real Madrid. It's not a shock. Real Madrid beat Juventus in the final last year, and they just seem to have a knack for dominating in UEFA Champions League. So those are the odds right there. So get to William Hill. Moving on now. Still, of course, at William Hill. A lot of special bets available. And, of course, you know we're getting closer and closer to the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Now, for these bets I have here, some of the special ones, look for the hashtag #YourOdds involving the World Cup. Spain to win the World Cup, and either Isco or Costa to be top World Cup goal scorer, meaning getting the Golden Boot. The odds here show 20-1. Now for the next bet. It's a pretty long one, so be prepared. Egypt, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia, and England all to qualify to the second round of the World Cup. The odds here are 20-1. Yes, I know, that's a lot to take in. Now, I will do my best to break this down in a timely manner. Few teams at a time. First, Egypt is in Group A. Obviously, that's the group with Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Egypt has a chance to get to the second round. Russia does not seem very dangerous. Group B, Portugal and Spain. Of course, all the experts are saying that is a likely thing to happen, considering that Portugal and Spain are in the same group with Morocco and Iran. What about Denmark? Well, Denmark's in the same group with France, Australia, and Peru. I'd say Denmark has a good chance there. Now, Mexico is in the group of death with Germany, Sweden, and South Korea. But for those of you who've been paying attention to the World Cup, Mexico just has trouble getting to the quarterfinals. Now, what about Colombia and England? Well, Colombia is in the same group with Poland, Senegal, and Japan. Everyone's expecting Colombia to come out of that group. England is grouped with Belgium, Panama, and Tunisia. Clearly, it's got to be Belgium and England out of that group. And what about Argentina? Well, I think it's almost impossible to see Argentina miss out on getting to the second round. They are grouped with Iceland, Croatia, and Nigeria. Should be a cakewalk. So the odds for that one, I'll repeat it, Egypt, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia, and England, all to qualify from their groups and make it to the second round. The odds are 20-1. So get to William Hill as soon as you can. That's www.williamhill.com. And with that, everybody, it's time to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really do appreciate the support. Get to our website as soon as you can, and also check out our blogs Make sure you show Dan some support. He's the cricket expert, and Patrick knows his American sports. And of course, don't forget to check out the Mr. Bookmaker football blog as we get closer and closer to the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Thank you everybody for listening to this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.